Hey pen pals, I only have one nice thing to say about MUFASA. Shall we talk about it? Shannan E. Johnson, CEO of The Professional Pen, where we develop screenwriters from idea to pitch. Need help on your screenplay? Go to www.theprofessionalpen.com. All right, y'all. The best thing about this MUFASA movie that nobody asked for, because The Lion King is a classic and is not to be touched. Nobody asked for the live action version either. But you gave it to us. Okay, we took it. All right, fine. Nobody told you. See, this is how Hollywood gets greedy. Nobody told you that we needed to have the origin story of MUFASA, but you decided to tell it to us anyway. And the best thing, the only good thing about this movie is Blue Ivy. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm from Houston, Texas. That's not what's happening here. I'm saying this because it is the truth. She's so natural. She's so natural. I had to ask myself, wait, is this the character? Is this the one that Blue Ivy is playing? So natural. So great. Now, let's talk about all of the things that went wrong. It is shallow and underdeveloped and on the nose and not very interesting. You want to know how I know? Because the people in the theater were on their phones and having conversations with each other. Children were walking around, going back and forth to their parents and to other people. This one little girl that was sitting in front of me, sit down, little girl. But she wouldn't. You know why? Because MUFASA could not keep her attention. So, spoiler alert, or whatever. This is a story within a story. Howsoever, they don't really do a lot with the story that's telling the story, which is one of my biggest complaints. Rafiki is telling a story to Kiera, who is away from her parents because they are having another child and they go off somewhere to have that child. Now, Kiera is afraid of the thunder and lightning because a storm is coming. In order to distract her from that, Rafiki tells her the story of MUFASA. That's it. There's nothing else happening in this story, okay? We aren't watching Kiera try to overcome something, though we should be watching her getting more and more comfortable with being in the storm and not being afraid of the thunder or the lightning. But we really don't get very much thunder or lightning. So the storytelling actually becomes a distraction to the story. I would have rather this just be an origin story about MUFASA versus giving Donald Glover and Beyonce 3 lines and having the character of Kiera in the first place, having Timon and Pumbaa there in the first place, because they are not pushing any story forward, not no story, not nothing. And so every time we leave MUFASA's story to come back to them, it is a distraction. It's nothing but Timon and Pumbaa cracking jokes that no one in the theater is laughing at. No one. No one. Not just me. No one. So every time they would pull out of our A story, which is the past, and come into the present without pushing any present day story forward, we're not following the birth of the baby. We're not tracking Kiara getting confident in the storm. So why are we here? Disney is known for its musical style of storytelling. I Just Can't Wait to Be King is about a lion who understands his legacy, a cub who understands his legacy, and is excited about stepping into it. It's not just a song for the heck of having a song. We have a song when we meet Scar because he's so formidable that we get to learn that the hyenas are his army, that he's upset about something, jealous of his brother, jealous of Simba, etc. So we're learning something while we're listening to this song. All of these songs felt forced, except for the song where MUFASA and Sarabi are singing because they're falling in love. And then Taka overhears and we see him now have his villain story start to evolve. That's about the only song that I really feel pushes the story forward. All of the other songs felt like, let's put a song here because the Lion King had a song here. Let's do a song that's similar to this. There was also a lot of repetition in dialogue. The amount of times we heard the words home, king, etc. But we weren't following the story in a way so that it can build and not feel forced. So for example, MUFASA loses his family. MUFASA doesn't try to find his family not once. They have a whole song and dance after he just lost everybody. And he's just like, yeah, I got a brother. Yeah, I'm having fun. Yeah. Where are your parents? Then we jump to him being a teenager or a young adult. And he's talking about, I just feel like my mother's out there. I feel her speaking to me. Are y'all going to show us when she speaks to him? And he says, yeah, I'm not going to look for her anymore. I've been looking for her this whole time. Have you? See, the Lion King develops. Mufasa needed a lesson in show don't tell. We also needed more proof, more evidence that Taka was a coward. It wasn't clear if his parents knew he was a coward before Mufasa showed up. And to only have that one moment of his cowardice when his mother was about to be attacked, like, I get it. If you're going to be king and if you're all mighty and strong, then you should just be able to jump in. But also at the same time, she was telling Mufasa to run. They were outnumbered. I can understand him saying, maybe I shouldn't jump in. But what does that mean about his actual cowardice? That being the first point of his cowardice didn't really work for me. Now, later on, we started to see, okay, you scared of everything, child. Right? But in the beginning, it felt like a big twist, a big turn for his father to be against him without like really showing, even when they were in their first race as cubs. He seemed just as skillful as Mufasa. So I just really don't understand what happened for him and what changed for him. I get that he was being pushed into being king, and for him to become Scar, who only wants to be king, it's like, okay, I'm following the arc. But I just missed the moment where he went from this very confident cub to this cowardly young adult. I missed that. I needed more development there. There was also not very much development in the Taka Sarabi connection for that to be the origin of his villain story. Like, we can see Mufasa and Sarabi have a connection from the beginning. They're talking to each other. They're around each other. Taka is really not talking to her. Taka is hanging in the back. And then all of a sudden he's like, ooh, Sarabi, I like her. And Mufasa's like, hey, I got you. I'm gonna hook you up. I got you. But at the end of the day, Sarabi falls for Mufasa, and now Taka is mad. Now, if you want me to understand why he's mad, then you have to actually show that there was some kind of connection. And I get that Taka is not as confident. I get that Taka is supposed to be this coward, but I needed to see that there was something that would make them a possible good connection for each other. You know what I'm saying? Make it viable. Make it possible. Make me actually say to myself, oh man, Mufasa took Taka's girl. That would have felt so different if I actually felt like Taka and Sarabi could be a couple and Mufasa just, I love your girl. You know what I mean? That would have been great. But no, it was very shallow. It was just out of nowhere. I like her. So, all right, Mufasa was like, cool, I'll hook y'all up. And then Sarabi was like, nah, it's really you. And then Taka was like, now I'm Scar and I'm about to take y'all down. Okay, so the moral of the story is it's not that great. Like, it's really not. Like, the storytelling is subpar. And this is crazy because this is Disney, and Disney doesn't do subpar. I don't know if I've ever seen a subpar Disney movie. Have you? If so, drop down in the comments, because this is absolutely nuts. So drop down in the comments. Have you seen Mufasa? How did you feel about it? Are you going to see it? Let me know what you think. Happy writing. And that's it. Want more content? Like, subscribe, and for notifications. Get notes on your script that get you unstuck at www.theprofessionalpen.com. I'm out.